Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited for this video because I wanted to do like a get ready with me video, basically to talk about my experiences with the military and how it literally changed my life. Preface, I never thought I would be in the military. I never thought I would be married to a person in the military. Let's get started. I really don't want to waste any more time. Just to begin, I wash my face with Fenty products. Honestly, I love them. I'm not going to go into it. You can watch thousands of videos. But that's how I set my face for makeup. I don't really have a formal setup. This is like the first time I'm doing this. I don't even have a little mirror yet, so I'm going to be using possibly just the camera. And actually, I have a mirror. I'm just going to use this. I'm going to start with the Fenty Beauty Setting Powder. It is in Nutmeg. This is it, and it's so cute. So we're gonna start with that. Let's talk about the military. Basically, I became associated with the military in 2017 when my husband, then boyfriend, joined. Then boyfriend joined. Crazy. But actually, I guess I'll just use this. Okay, so, and it's been a whirlwind since then. The main thing that I would have to say about how the military changed my life is that I never thought that I would be or have traveled to as many places that I had traveled to. Let's just start there. I've been to Biloxi, Mississippi to visit him while he was in tech school at Keesler, which was an experience for me because he wasn't able to take time off. Coincidentally, somebody effed everything up for his whole group or whatever, so they lost some privileges for going out that same time that I got there. It's a beautiful base, and the food is amazing at the DFAC, and yeah, it was a crazy experience. I never in my entire life thought I would ever go to Biloxi, Mississippi, ever. But it sort of gave me a perspective about that area and how I look crazy. And how it was affected by all the hurricanes and stuff, just from the cab driver on the way there. He was telling me so much about it, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm just gonna put this all through my face and probably have to wipe it off afterwards. But while that sets a little bit, I basically rubbed it in, but it's still gonna be on top because it's too light to be all over my face. And I also had been to Barcelona. We got engaged there, and it was his first time there, and it's literally my favorite place. I've also been to Colorado Springs twice when he was doing training there. Again, another place I never thought I would ever visit. I had a bus stop in Pueblo, and it was a very interesting experience. It was a kind of scary place, and people, oddly enough, were very friendly. So I was like, hey, what's up? Like, hi, like, why are you talking to me? I'm a Boston person, so I just don't understand kindness. But I was also in a very sketchy area, so I was like, am I being set up? So I had to pretend that I was a student there. Like a very dodgy person came up to me while I was sitting waiting for the bus. And he was like, hey, are you a student at Pueblo Community College? I guess it's PCC, he said. And I just literally, God sent down the knowledge and was like, that's Pueblo Community College. And I was like, oh, PCC, okay. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, what are you studying? And I was like, history. He was like, oh, that's awesome. Do you want to be like a politician or something? And I was like, no, I want to be like an attorney. He was like, oh, that's good. Pueblo needs a lot of those. And I was like, okay. It was such an experience. And then another woman came up, and I thought we were gonna just have a very weird conversation, but then she told me about all of these crime statistics in the area and how she was a part of some of those crime statistics, and I was like, wow. I always knew I had that thing where people can share their whole stories with you, but that was a different experience. Okay, so I'm just gonna take some of this off with my color brush. Guys, these brushes are so beautiful. I'm so glad I get to show you. I don't do this makeup thing, so please bear with me, but I do know that these brushes are cute. Like, tell me not. And they're so soft. I don't feel like I'm touching anything except the softest rabbit in the world. It's kind of sad, actually. The softest cloud in the world. And I'm gonna take some of this off. Oh, obviously being in Germany, a place I never thought I would freaking ever live in. Again, see my get to know me video and my 1 year in Germany video, where you can just see my life a little bit. But basically, I never thought I would come to Germany. I studied abroad before, and Germany was a conscious place in my head, or a decision in my head not to go. It's just, I never thought I would like the architecture or the people. I obviously wanted to come to Oktoberfest before, but it just wasn't appealing enough for me to visit Germany. And so I didn't. But this is a crazy place that I've been to, lived in at this point for over a year. Oh, that noise. Okay. And it's been an awesome experience. And since I've been here, I've been to a few places I haven't been to yet. And that's been Budapest, and also to Madrid, where I hadn't been to. And there's another place that I really loved. Budapest. We've been to St. Anton, where you go skiing in Austria. I'm going in with the Fenty again Pro Filter Foundation in shade 450. It's honestly kind of dark because I haven't really gotten much sun this summer, to be honest, because of COVID. Just going out on the patio doesn't do anything. So it's going to be a little bit darker, but I don't think you'll be able to notice it. I'm forgetting a place, but for now, I'll just put it somewhere on the screen. But honestly, if someone were to ask me whether or not they should be scared to be in the military or be a military spouse, I would say if traveling is on your bucket list for life, then military is a good option for you, because it's going to offer you these opportunities, whether it's training. I knew I was going to travel, but the military made it a traveling experience I never thought I would have. But you have to make your own path. You have to have that vision for yourself, that regardless, is going to be for me, and that's it. So yeah, that's number one, how Germany changed my life, and how the military changed my life. But yeah, Germany did too. Another way the military changed my life is that it gave me a full view of bureaucracy. Bureaucracy? Yeah, that. And that is because everything is a process. Everything is a paperwork. Everything is a signature, is some craziness. I remember when I was getting my ID, my dependent ID, it really put things into perspective. I was still in Boston, so I had to go to the nearest base, which is Hanscom base. I had to get appointments made and see the doctor. I had to provide various documents to get signatures and to communicate back and forth with each other, to get these things signed and all this other stuff. He had to make all the appointments. I couldn't do any of it. So that is something that was very new to me. And I basically had to go to Hanscom base like twice while I was working, and I had to just figure it out. Luckily, and I didn't have a license, which sucked. Like, if you don't have certain paperwork, you're screwed, and you can literally mess up your career. Like, just because of bureaucracy, just because you need to do all of these different things. And it works like that as a spouse, and it works like that for my husband at work. And military is not just work, it's his life. So we're experiencing that frequently. So that's something you definitely have to get used to. And it's something that I still don't like. I'm not used to it. When I came to Germany, I left the job in the corporate world, so there wasn't that much bureaucracy. It was like, get it done. And I could be talking to a person way, way above me, but that's because it has to get done. Another thing is to do with the first part, which is traveling. In the process of getting your orders and all this stuff like that, it is definitely a waiting game if you're moving overseas. I mean, it could be anywhere. If you're moving out of your hometown or home state to somewhere else, it's like a doozy regardless. But for us dealing with moving overseas, it was a lot. It was a lot. Didn't do the normal PCS route. So packing things was crazy. Shipping it was crazy. Getting here, we had nothing, was crazy. There is this thing called FMO here, where you can get your fridge and your American fridge and your American microwave and a couple other things, I guess. wardrobes for your bedroom and stuff. You can also get beds and a couch, which is so uncomfortable. It reminds me of those gym mats, and they just made bed versions of it and a couch version of it. And so we had that for a while, and we had to deal with it, and it was pretty terrible. That's a first world problem, but it was pretty terrible. So be prepared for like you're not able to predict the things that you're about to go through, but be prepared for the roller coaster. Like, it's gonna be crazy. But it's gonna be it builds character, as my friends would say. So next I am going in with the matchstick suede. Oh, sorry. Gotta warm it up on the back of my hand. And yes, that is sum ups number 3. If you are someone who needs things to get done a certain way, who is still working on their ability to be flexible, which has something to do with, whatever, that's you. Be prepared to be angry at all times. Okay, I'm actually liking that. Alright, so another way the military changed my life is I definitely had to gain independence. And this kind of wraps all of those things up into one, where before I do that, I'm gonna just let you guys know the next matchstick, which is cinnamon. These matchsticks came in the trio according to it comes with espresso, suede, and cinnamon. So espresso is your, what is this? Contour, like the darker shade for your cheekbones. And the suede is concealer. You just saw me use it. You can also use it on your eyes, but I don't use it because I have such small eyelids that it's just gonna get everywhere. Cinnamon is sort of like a highlight to bring out the brim of your nose and the crease of your nose and your chin if you want, and obviously your cheekbones, or your eyebrows as well. And it comes in this trio to match your skin, and it works perfectly. Anyways, I am not sponsored, so let's move on. So it kind of culminates all of those things, and that's just independence, like I said. And that is because you're moving to a whole new place and you're building a small family if you have kids, with your kids and your husband. But if you're just like me, it's just me and my husband. So I had to step back so many times and realize that a lot of what I'm doing right now is difficult, especially in the beginning. And regardless of any of that, this is the beginning of building a family. And it's paperwork and it's buying groceries and buying furniture, but it's also growth and it's learning, and at the end of the day it's going to do me so much good than all the bad. And that's with a lot of retrospect. I've had so many times where I felt depressed, I've cried, and you have to just deal with it. It's a lot. And that leads me to another point where if you're moving overseas, you might not have friends for a while. I know. Us extroverts, we're way more complicated than people think, because it kind of sucks in the beginning, and your husband's gonna be there, like I said, your family, and and I had to deal with not projecting a lot of shit on him. Oops. To minimize anything like that, I would say reach out to people, find the squadron that your husband or wife's in, and find that spouse group and immerse yourself immediately. You're not going to want to. You're not going to feel like you need to. You're going to be like, oh, I have so much time here, so blah, 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 blah. But the more time you spend, the more connections are being made without you. That's how I should have thought about it. And you're gonna miss all those beginner moments of making friendships with other new wives who came in the same time you did. Now, it's hard to know which wives are coming in and who's coming in, leaving, whatever. Like, you're not gonna know that. But if you're part of these groups, you'll know. Like, there's no way. People are posting things all the time. If you see someone posting about they want something, they just got there, like on the Facebook Marketplace or on the spouses groups, they're looking for something, and be like, oh, they must be new too. Maybe I'll hit them up or find their Instagram. It's very easy, guys. Like, I'm not a stalker, but we all know. As an extrovert, I realize sometimes I can be shy at first, but for some reason I just say hello and get interlocked into a conversation, and everything is fine. Like, that's how I work as an introvert. It's difficult in the beginning, but then I just can't stop talking, and then the person's so comfortable around me, and then we have a good situation, not a Pueblo, Colorado situation where I'm just sitting there scared. All right, so the next brush I'm gonna use is actually a Fenty brush. It's 120. I don't know how brushes work, but that should help out. It's the brush that she talks about with the highlighters, and I feel like it works pretty well. I just want to add another highlighter on top of this color because it kind of just blends in and makes things look dewy, which is great, but I kind of want something else since I'm home and bored. Oh! Jeez, that will never not be surprising. When I go to the grocery store later, people are gonna be blinded. I'm gonna have to blend that, but we'll try again. Yeah, that's better. I guess in that respect, the military changed my life, and it made me realize the importance of connections with other people. It made me realize some things about myself, like maybe I needed to take a moment to figure out who I am a little bit in these times of stress and in completely new environments. And it also made me a whole new pack of friends. Like, I have a good group of girls, both who are in the military and those who are civilians / spouses, who I can just talk to and chill, like hang out with. I think I'm almost done with my makeup. I'm not doing my eyes because it's raining and I have to go out and I don't want things just to melt off. I will do mascara, but nothing else. I'm gonna put on this matte gloss or matte lip. This is the Unveil, but it's just the brown nude color for us brown girls. But the last thing I would say is there are a lot of advantages in terms of cash that the military gives you for moving overseas, or if you have a spouse, certain things increase because now you're like building a family. And there are benefits that I have, and it is just very interesting, and that is something that a lot of YouTubers cover, so you can just look up like military spouse benefits and other videos of how the military has affected other women's lives or other men's lives. But it definitely put into perspective handling money and thinking about money, firmly budgeting and sticking to it, what happens when you don't budget and stick to it. And it's difficult when you're moving overseas because you can be in a place where you're traveling and there's so much to see. Like, even if you're very far from a lot of places that you have been to before, heard about other people going, like if you're in Japan or Korea, there's still so much to see and so much to learn and so many undiscovered places. Think about ways you can learn more about money while you're out on your own, because you can bring back those skills and just learn and implement those things that you've learned. So that's been definitely interesting. Learning about money in the military and what benefits you get, as well as preparing for going back home / preparing for being a member of your own family and budgeting for it. It changed my perspective on the people in the military. I've met some of the smartest cultural people here and some of also the most interesting. Guys, this is perfect. I think this is probably one of the most perfect little brushes for the matte lip. I don't know what this is called, matte lipstick, and it just shapes your lip. I don't know how it does it. People are amazing. They're so smart, and I feel like they've been here, like in the military, it's immersed them in it so much that they have so much to say about how it operates, and they have such good ideas of how to create change within the military. And they have so many, not everyone is a wannabe stay-at-home wife, a wannabe stay-at-home mom. And if they want to be those things, there's so much more than that. People need to like seriously think about military members, because they're over in these places they've never been before. Even if they're still in the United States, they're in these places. I'm gonna top off my eyes with the Revlon Telescopic Mascara. I've been using this for years. It is literally perfect. But yeah, like we need to really think about who these people are, because they're actual people and they came to the military not just to serve, but to better their lives. There is no one type of person here. There are so many different types of people. And during a time, I'm not even trying to be political, but during these times, it can really make you feel like everyone is at the complete opposite end of any spectrum of any ideas and stances and worldviews. Like, totally shattered my opinion on that. Alright, this is how they look now. A little clustered, actually. But this one dried really fast. I don't know why. So I'm not gonna change it. Alright guys, so do I put the lip gloss over it, or do I just keep it like so? I'm just gonna do it. I haven't done it before. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. Here we go. That's so cute. Y'all see that highlighter? Okay. I just want to show you guys my little bootleg station as well. Let me take this off. This is the station that I'm using. It is not great, but it's gotta work. All right guys, that wraps up this video. Thank you so much for sticking around this long. I hope you did, actually. So you can learn a little bit more about how the military has changed my life so far. I'm really close. And if you have any more questions, like I said earlier, please let me know. If you have any questions about my makeup or what I put on my face, you want me to do a routine or something like that. But if you have any more questions, please drop them in the comments and I'll do a part 2 to this video, or / do a whole nother subject depending on where the questions go. Stay in touch and subscribe and comment, and also like this video, and let other military wives or people who are thinking about joining the military, who are spouses and want to know more about it so they can tell their husbands or wives about it, let them know this channel exists. I'll see you guys on the flippity flip. Bye.